The special relationship between the UK and the United States is back up and running, at least in the automotive sector anyway. Now, of course, we know about tariffs. We've talked about tariffs a lot on this channel. And of course, any foreign-made car being imported into the United States was subject to a 25% tariff until very recently because of this new trade deal that is in place in the US and the UK now. So instead of it being a 25% tariff, which was on top of a 2.5% tariff that was already there prior to Trump's recent changes, it will now be 10% instead in total, which is almost reducing it to a third of what it was before. That is a huge deal, not only for the US, but also for the UK in particular. Now, this has, of course, saved a lot of jobs in the UK. How many? Could have been thousands, quite comfortably. Jaguar Land Rover, one of the largest car makers in the United Kingdom, they said they were preparing for cuts to be made to their workforce to try and adapt to these changes. Now, they hadn't told the unions about this because they were hoping that a trade deal could have been formulated between the UK and the US, and thankfully that has happened now, and that has saved a lot of jobs as a result, not only directly but also indirectly as well. For example, around 100,000 families, around 250,000 jobs in total, do rely on Jaguar Land Rover either directly or indirectly, so all of those are safe for now. And in fact, Peter Mandelson, the foreign ambassador to the United States from the United Kingdom, said, and I quote, "This deal has saved those jobs. That's a pretty big achievement in my view, and I'm very pleased that the president has signed it." He told that to CNN. Now, JLR, they only resumed importing cars into the United States last week after a 30-day pause following the tariffs announcement, and it looks like they will continue to flow into the US for the foreseeable future. Now, some are criticising the deal in the UK, some are saying that we could have got a better deal potentially, but insiders within the government here in the UK said they wanted to bank the progress that they had made so far and not want to have that actual rate of tariff go up even further. So having 10% rather than 27.5% in total is a lot better. Now, this change in the tariff only applies to the delivery date of these vehicles rather than the shipping date. So those that are already on their way to the US now will not be subject to the old tariff, the 27.5% one. It'll just be for the 10% one, so that will save thousands in the overall cost of these cars for consumers. It's a good thing for American consumers as well, of course. Now, if you're wondering what the difference is that this would have made, so basically it could have meant that the value of a Range Rover Evoque could have risen originally by nearly $12,500. And for an entry-level Range Rover, that could have meant that it risen to around $27,000 on top of its original asking price, which in the US already went for around $100K in total. So it's a good thing for the UK, it's a good thing for the US, jobs saved in the UK, cheaper cars over in the US. So I think this is a good thing overall on both sides of the ponds, but let us know what you think in the comments below about this, guys, as always. And yeah, we'll see you soon for much more content on the world of cars just like this. Plenty of tariff news happening around the world right now, so we'll bring you any updates to do with that in due course.